Good evening and salutations, my Beyond the Gates fans. I haven't actually did a review for this show in a while, and well, one of my reasons is because I felt like the numbers just didn't really justify the effort. Um, Plus, some of the episodes have been kind of so-so, and I didn't want to sit there and be a negative Nancy about it. So I was like, let me pick episodes that are good or decent or stuff that I could sit there and talk about. And I wanted to do the review today. Well, one, because the episode was actually decent. Two, we got our first take at the new Ted, and I gotta sit there and say right off rip, he's a, he's a vastly improvement over the other guy. I mean, listen, no offense to him, his acting style, or anything like that, but yeah, there is a huge difference. And it's so bad when you have a guy come in one day and you're just like, oh shit. You kind of just like, God damn, bro, what the hell was you doing? Was you on shrooms or something? Again, I try not to sit there and really, go after actors or whatever, but like, I've done impressions of him before when I've had a few alcohol beverages in me. And maybe one day I'll sit there and do it. But yeah. Alright, so first of all, I kind of want to sit there and start off with Derek and Ashley. Surprisingly, because, well, it's the first time they've been somewhat interesting. I mean, because let's be honest, most of the times they're just there for, well, we all know why they're there. I'll sit there and say that. But they're having issues with their living arrangements, them moving in and everything. And, they start griping at each other a little bit. Derek is kind of messy. Ashley is a neat freak. I think they both just having issues, the basic issues of just actually sleeping in the same bed. Like, it's different. Especially when you've just been kind of sleeping on your own bed for a while, having somebody else, another living being, in your bed. For me, I'm a heavy sleeper, but I'm also kind of a light sleeper at the same time, and I remember my ex, we'd sit there and, like, spend a night and stuff like that. And, we were kind of moving towards, like, moving in and things of that nature, and one of the things we did was we got used to sleeping in the same bed where it didn't feel awkward or uncomfortable or, little things like even somebody getting up to use the restroom and not waking up the other person. That type of stuff is something that took time to do, And he just happened to, when he got to the hospital, because he did apologize for, I don't even really know why. He made a joke about the guys coming over and, smoking cigars and stuff like that. And she just had that look on her face. He was like, oh, I'm just joking. And she was like, it's not funny. I'm like, it really wasn't that serious. And it's weird because it's like, I don't want to sit there and be playing favorites or choosing, the man's side over the woman's side. But the thing is, and they're both at fault in a way. And this is something that Derek did figure out, and in the live streams recently they're talking about that. Because, after a while you're just like, whatever. He made that joke and she got snippy and he just kind of walked out. And he meets her again at the hospital, the hospital where she was there talking to Andre. Andre, the guy who literally tried to kiss her. Yeah, that Andre. He meets her again, and he brings like a stuffed animal as some sort of peace-making offer or something. And he has an idea. He's like, you know what, listen. We've been being very tense. And this is after they both talked to Naomi and Jacob, who have been together for a while and living together for a while. and just, venting about their issues with each other and their living together. And, he was like, I moved in because it was kind of a level of convenience, right? He moved in because it was convenience. Like, hey, listen, I got my lease up or whatever, and it's kind of like you just sort of had to. And he moved into her space, and she's been very territorial about her space. So he's like, listen, how about we just sit there and just find a place together? We have two salaries. We may not be able to get something super big, but we can get something that's a lot more bigger than a studio and living together in a cramped space and, whatever. And this is where I start to get issues with Ashley. Because Ashley's like, we have much more bigger issues than us living together. And I'm like, well, if you had those concerns, why did you not bring it to his attention? Because if you're sitting there saying this isn't about a living situation or a living space, why are you bringing this up now? Like, the thing is, nobody likes to be blindsided. No one likes to be blindsided, right? And that's literally what you're doing. I mean, did you sit there and tell him about the fact that Andre tried to kiss you? No. And now you're just sitting there imagine when he finds that out, right? So, yeah. The thing is, they've been going out for years, right? And just because you go out for years doesn't mean you're not going to have your issues, but, like, I mean, damn, what was he doing the whole time? Just, like, they had issues with each other and he chose to sit there and just not say anything? I don't know. So, yeah, you got that going on. Both Jacob and Naomi met up with June. Now, June was in the hospital because she decided not to go to the hotel because she just, I don't know. She has issues. Let's just put it that way. She has issues. So she wound up catching a cold or whatever, and he brung her, she wound up bringing her the picture that she dropped. And she didn't even know what they were. She didn't know they were her kids or anything like that. It was just a picture that made her happy. This is after her going to Bill's place or Bill's office. See, Bill had a meeting with Leslie, and I'm like, why are you there? It was for the cease and desist letter that he sent her. Like, yo, listen, don't be messing up my character's name or anything like that. And she was upset about it, and I'm kind of like, you had a cease and desist letter, and you decided to go there anyway. I was like, do you not understand how those things work? Well, of course not, because you're crazy. So, you got that going on. And then, Ted came over there. Now, Ted had a conversation with Kat, and Kat was surprisingly understanding to an extent. Like, she heard him out. She heard out the issues he was sitting there having with Nicole and how Leslie was just kind of there and she wasn't all cray-cray back in the day. And, it was just easier. Like, he literally sat there and told her about his issues. And I guess the one thing that Kat realized is that he's human. Yes, he messed up royally, right? He's been lying to them for years about what he did, right? But he's willing enough to sit there and man up and own what he did and talk to his daughter. And, his daughter was like, listen, one conversation is not going to fix a lifetime of you lying to us. But it's a start. And she does want to plug him in because at the end of the day, when she talks to Chelsea, she's like, that's my dad. She also realized, I've been a little kind of judgmental about your back and forth with your dad, and now she understands. But they're talking, and one of the major things they bring up is the running Laura off the road, right? Running her off the road. Either with Eva or with Leslie, whatever. So she goes back to the house, and she's about to sit there and write a note because she can't find them. And she's like, what the hell am I doing? I have a phone. It's 2025. Leslie comes to the door. They talk for a little bit. Leslie just acts like the goddamn Riddler at this point. Like, I don't know. Maybe I ran her over. Maybe Eva ran her over. I mean, who knows? I mean, I'm not going to sit there and tell you anything concrete. And then she walks off. Now, Kat was recording the whole conversation. She's like, I got you. It's like, what did you get? She didn't confirm that she ran her off the road. She didn't confirm that her daughter ran her off the road. So, I give her a certain level of balls because, like, or guts or whatever, because Leslie's crazy. Okay? She has the deranged, unhinged, I've been having this, revenge plan for years. Kat was just staring her down like, I don't give a damn. Like, I mean, listen, Kat has been annoying the shit out of me, and I've made that no secret and complaint, and complaint, and complaint, but she's not boring. And I'm starting to like her a little bit. Okay, like is actually kind of a strong word. She's interesting. I would sit there and say that much. She's interesting, because there was times that she did piss me off, but she's interesting. Now Ted does go and see Bill, and Bill is like, what are you doing to sit there and kind of contain this chick? Long story short, he's like, I give her a cease and desist letter. What are you doing on your end? You could sit there and charge her for blackmailing. I mean, you did give her money to leave town, and she's still there. So I need you to kind of step up and do your part. And now Naomi comes in, and Naomi asks a question like, did you really sit there and threaten her? And, Bill kind of circumvenes around like, well, I talked to her, and I don't know what she heard. I mean, she might have heard one thing. She was young and naive and emotional, whatever. And I'm pretty sure she said the word like gaslighting or whatever. And then she asked Ted, and Ted was like, well, I wasn't really there, so I can't imagine what he said, but, I don't know. Like, he just kind of gives the, I wasn't there answer, so I don't know what happened. I gotta sit there and say that this is probably one of the more better episodes, because the last two episodes have just been pissing me off. Now, I might sit there and do a week where I do General Hospital and I talk about Beyond the Gates. Depends on the numbers and stuff like that. We'll see. Eva was sitting there talking to Andre and talking about some of the high stuff that wound up happening, like, the hell is his name? Martin inviting her over to meet the kids and the husband, just having a good time, and also the lows of Mom Duke's not, rocking with her anymore and kind of kicking her to the curb, and the fact that it's her birthday, which Ted found out later on, like, oh shit, I should have kind of figured out that she wasn't born that long ago. But, she talks about it's her birthday and everything like that. She gets a she gets a text from Leslie. Leslie don't want to sit there and rock with her. Leslie wants something from her. Leslie is like the definition of a basuda mother. I could have swore I said this in my General Hospital review. Maybe. Right? Or maybe it was my Days review. I said something along the lines of like, there's certain people that don't deserve to be fathers, and there's definitely people that do not deserve to be mothers, and Leslie is definitely one of those people that do not deserve to be mothers, because she came over there excited, thinking, oh, it's my birthday, whatever. Leslie just wanted her to put in a good word to Ted to get Bill to back off. And, there's a point where Eva's like, well, what did you expect Bill to do? I mean, you are, like, wilding out or whatever. Like, what do you expect him to do? Anyway, she doesn't get the answer that she wants. She practically just, acts like a bitch to her. I hate that word, but that's that's the truth of the matter. I feel like that's about it for the most part. There might have been some stuff here or there that I missed, but that is the general gist of the episode. Now, tonight, I'm not doing the live stream because everything got pushed back. And I mean everything, from the errands I was doing, and then the time I started watching the shows and doing the reviews, everything just kind of got pushed back. And yes, I could have probably just did a later stream, but because I have to wake up super early in the morning, like 3:45 in the morning, it's just easier if I just do the stream tomorrow. This way we could talk about this stuff and whatever, and kind of just really go through it. Anyway, I feel like that's pretty much about it. Let me know in the comment section if I missed anything. Share the videos so this way it can definitely get more people that are watching Beyond the Gates, because season 2 they did get a renewal, so I know people are excited about that. And I know some Beyond the Gates fans. I want to sit there and try to get more into the streams, and this was definitely a good way to do that because General Hospital is the most popular one. We generally tend to talk more about General Hospital, but I also like to sit there and talk about Beyond the Gates, even though it's not exactly my favorite show. It's not the worst show out there, and there's always stuff I could sit there and talk about in Beyond the Gates. So I'll see you in the next video and in tomorrow's stream.